You're a new CIMA student, you're going to sit your first exam, and you can't find anywhere online about what to expect. Let's eliminate those elements of surprises with this exam. So today I'm going to be touching on the exam day experience so that you know exactly what to expect when you go and attend your very first CIMA exam. So if you are new to CIMA and you are about to study your first CIMA exam, then you must check out this video. So let's roll the intro and let's just get stuck straight in. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is CRAIGO. I'm a fully qualified chartered management accountant. Today we are going to be talking about exam day and what you can expect on exam day. This is something that I remember turning up to the exam and not knowing what was going to be happening on the day. So I just want to provide a bit of visibility around what happens when you do attend your CIMA exams. The agenda for today's video is set out into three parts. The first one is the booking of the exam, the second one is the exam day itself, and the third one is how you obtain your mark of a pass or a fail. So first of all, we will touch on booking your exam. CIMA's exams are managed by a company called Pearson Vue, and the test centres that you sit your exam at will be a Pearson Vue test centre. And online they have a fantastic live booking system, which means you can book or cancel your exam up to 48 hours before the time that you either want to sit or cancel your exam. And a CIMA student should be utilising this to their advantage. If you feel like you need to cancel an exam or push an exam back a week because you don't feel ready, then utilise that. Push it back a week, give you more time, because that will enable you to pass your exam first time and keep the momentum going. Momentum when it comes to exams is key. And of course, it also works the other way. If you feel ready to sit your exam earlier than the booking that you've booked, as long as your employer is okay for you to do so, then bring your exam forward and get that pass in the bag early, because then you can start and use your effort and time to study towards your next exam, which will enable you to progress through the exam faster. Utilise the Pearson Vue booking system to your advantage. It's a fantastic flexible booking system over other qualifications such as ACCA or ACA. So utilise it to the best of your advantage to help you get through your exams. So that brings me on to point 2, which is the exam day itself. What can you expect? What happens on exam day? Do I have pens? Do I have paper? What's the exam room like? We're all going to answer those questions. So the first thing you do is you walk through the exam door and you will see a lovely person on the registration desk. I got to know the person on the registration desk and we had some great banter before the exam, and it just helped to settle my nerves. And what she will do is she will sign you in. So you turn up on time for your exam, she'll take a photo of you, you'll have to fill a form out, sign a confidentiality agreement, and then they will log you in and then they will take you into the exam room and sit you down at a computer which is signed in with your credentials. It's important to note that Pearson Vue are used for a number of qualifications. So the person next to you probably won't be sitting a CIMA exam. So you will be sat around other people in other professions. So that you have no worry about someone looking over your shoulder trying to copy you, because chances are they won't be doing the same exam as you anyway. So when you go into your exam, you'll be sat at a computer. You'll have big screens up either side. You'll be in a little booth, and the only things that you will have within your booth will be a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, your calculator that you brought in, a pen, and this stumped me on day one, it shocked me, a whiteboard. CIMA does not permit the use of paper within the exam. So it may be worthwhile you practicing at home answering questions with a whiteboard pen and a whiteboard, because that first exam threw me. I was shocked. I was like, how am I expected to do this exam without paper? And believe me, it's something you get used to. It's something that I think everyone should know before going into that exam. You will be given a formula sheet, but please note this isn't on a soft copy. This will be a hard copy on your screen. So the software itself will have a couple of options at the bottom: formula sheet, notes box, and you will be able to look at the formula on that. Now, a bit of advice for you: if you are having some formulas that you really can't understand or you really are struggling to remember that isn't on a formula sheet, then have it on the top of your mind when you're going to exam. So the moment that that exam starts, just quickly write it down on your whiteboard. And that way you won't have the pressure of trying to remember that throughout the period of the exam. The formula will be there on your whiteboard. You haven't done anything wrong, it's just a tip. If you want to help yourself learn a formula, be reading it in the car before you go in. Remember it for that 10 minutes that it takes to get you signed into the exam. As soon as your exam starts, the clock starts on paper, write the formula down on the whiteboard. It's just a tip that if I did ever feel like I was really struggling with something and it helped settle my nerves, then it was something that I could do just to help me out. You've turned up on exam day, you're signed in, you're sat at your computer, and you're just about to start the exam. What happens? Well, first of all, you will get a practice test. So you will get I think it's about 5-6 questions to answer on screen. They're the same question and answers every time. This isn't about testing your knowledge at this phase. This is about you learning or knowing how to use the software that the test will be on. So it will give you like 5 or 6 different types of questions that you could have. So it could be drag and drop, it could be click a diagram, it could be multiple choice, type your answer in a box. And it's just getting you just used to how the form works and how you can answer your questions. And what that will do is will set you up so that you're confident that you know exactly how the software is going to work, and it gives you an opportunity to relate yourself to that software. Now, of course, once you've done the exam 2, 3, 4, 5 times, this same exercise becomes very repetitive and you probably will skip through it like I did because you just want to get to the start of the exam. But the first couple is useful just to get to understand how the software works, and I fully recommend you utilise that if you are doing your first or second exams. Then of course, you've done the practice test, it's time for the real deal. You'll have 90 minutes to answer 60 questions. You're in control of your own time. The time will not stop and the clock will keep going. And when your 90 minutes is up, you will simply have to log off your computer, walk out the room to the reception desk, and that is where you will get your provisional mark. And come the end of the exam, it will send the result from the computer to the lady on reception who will print your result. And please note that at this time, the result is a provisional result. It will be a pass or a fail mark. You will not get a scaled mark out of 150. You will just get a pass or a fail. I've never known a result change after getting that provisional mark, although they do say it is subject to change. But it's fantastic. In my opinion, that is the best thing about CIMA. You have a mark on the day. You don't have, like you do with the case studies, 5 to 6 weeks of worrying about your result. You're probably now wondering, well, when do I get my actual score? The actual score will take up to 48 hours to go on your online CIMA portal. And it was pretty reliable from my experience. Within 48 hours, your exact mark out of 150 will be available on the portal. And what you'll see is if you pass your exam, this mark will be over 100. And if you failed that exam, then it will be under 100. And it's important to note as well that if you do fail the exam, then utilise this piece of information to your advantage. Did you massively fail it? So let's say you got 70 out of 100. Well, that gives you a gauge for how much extra time you need to put in. And given an extra week of revision, if you got 99 out of 100, you could probably go and sit that exam again in a week's time and pass that exam. And in summary, that is the exam day process. Nothing else will throw a surprise to any of you who are sitting your CIMA exams. It is as simple as I've made it out to be. Do not worry about the process. It is just like any other exam that you've ever done. It's just on a computer. And if you have done your driving theory test, then this is the best test that I can relate the experience to. I have never done an exam like the CIMA exams other than the driving theory. So if you have done your driving theory here in the UK, you will remember what that was like. And that is essentially exactly what CIMA is like. So that is all from me today. I really hope you found this video useful to anybody who is new to CIMA and going into sitting their first CIMA exam. So that is all from me today. Please do make sure to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.